Oh, you wanted final looks, honey? Well, here you go. I'm just kidding. Hello and good morning. My name is Alina, and I am here because I wanted to get ready with you. We have a few things to do today, lots of content to film, and this is my first video. I don't generally like to be on camera without makeup or on camera at all, just either with or without. We're gonna see how it works. So I am gonna just do a very quick, simple get ready video, nothing crazy. It is my first video, I think, if I put it on the tube, this will be my first video. And if not, it might be my second or third, who knows. Let's get ready, and then I'm going to zoom in here. Oh, not that close, girl. So what I like to use generally is a lot of MAC. So I already have moisturizer on, so I am going to use the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm, which is amazing. I usually use the serum as well, but the serum I ran out of, and I have not gotten more up. So I just have the balm for now. And I'll just put this all over my face and neck because I bring the makeup down into my neck because I want it all to match. I don't want to look crazy. I don't want any streakiness. I have like 2 layers of moisturizer on, and then I put this on, and it usually is really good for my skin and works really well. And today I'm not going to really do any eyeshadow per se. I might use some on top of my eyeliner, but I am not going to do much eyeshadow because I used to be an eyeshadow girly, but ever since I've gotten older, I feel like my face, or my eyes in particular, every time I have eyeshadow on them, they just, they crease, they water, they hurt, and so I really tried not to do that to myself anymore, and I really try to not do that to my face anymore. So I don't wear as much eyeshadow as I used to. I love eyeshadow. I think it looks really cool. I think I do pretty good eyeshadow, but I will not be doing that today. So generally how I start off to do my face is I will put a little concealer on, and I usually use the MAC Pro concealer thing. Excuse this, this is like super dirty. But I've already run out of the red, which is what I would normally use, and then some of the yellow. I have been using this color recently to kind of cover up any sort of 5 o'clock shadow, and so that is what I'm going to do today. It really helps in just making sure that there's enough of a base to kind of cover up everything. And I usually just take my brush, and this was clean before I dipped it in here, right? But I always clean my brushes. My brushes are always clean. I really try to use a clean brush all the time. Actually, I don't try, I do. Like, I'm like, it's kind of a religion at this point to always clean my brushes in the morning while I'm in the shower or whenever, so that way I can reuse and I'm not putting any like dirty, gross, old, sweated on, greasy product. What I normally use for foundation, my powder, whatever. I have another one for powder really, but this is the one that I use mainly of, and I'll take this one, which is the fluffier one. And shout out to my sister who got me these brushes. I love these brushes. I don't know what the name of them are. They came all pink and in a pink like carrier. Super cute. I think you can probably hear my neighbors outside because it sounds like they're talking. And of course these headphones pick up everything. And I just set this with a little bit of powder. It's my MAC Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette. She's getting down in to the pan. So I'll have to get another one of these. But I really like, it lasts so long because literally I don't use a lot of it. I mean, I do wear a lot of makeup, but I don't use a lot of it generally, and so it lasts me a fairly good amount of time. So once I have done that, this is where I actually go in and then put on my foundation. So I usually use NC16. I fluctuate between NC16 and NC18, and then I use a Studio Powder Plus Foundation. That's what it's called. In NC30, and that's just because I like some color on me. I feel like it blends in better. However, my entire body is like super pale. I am pale as fuck. So let's put on some foundation. So how's everybody doing? You know, this is my first video. I am not one of those YouTube girlies who, oh Lord, I need, maybe, am I running out of this too? Jesus Christ. I have actually like 4 more of these as a backup. It looks like I am on the last leg, girl. Okay. I don't need a ton of it. I don't, you know, I have fairly decent skin. I will just make sure that it's all over, cover up the lightness, and then and get it down into the neck, and then of course I'll probably go in and add more. But sorry, you probably can't see me as I'm putting it on. And then of course I can't really see the screen because I have my stuff in front of it. And I'll make sure to get it down into my neck. Just blot it all over. Nothing like there. It's just making sure, trying to get it as much all over as you can. So that way I can go then in with the sponge and make sure it gets everywhere. Because I'm going to come in with my foundation and I am going to cover even more, give myself a little bit more coverage, but with the actual powder foundation, the compact. So I just do that really quick, nothing crazy. I take one of these, which I absolutely love, and then I make sure to pat it everywhere. And this just helps to move that makeup around evenly, get it all over the place. I feel like you get a little bit more coverage when you don't use a sponge. However, I'm not necessarily going for like monster cake face. Like I am going for rather light coverage for my taste. I mean, there are people who wear lighter makeup for sure, but for my taste, I like to just take a little bit of foundation, put it everywhere, because I'm layering. I'm putting on so much overall that I don't necessarily need it all at one time. And I just want to make sure to get it down there into my skin. I would like it all to look like one. And you don't want it to look like there is some sort of line. Now, I thought about doing this video a long time ago. I have been on YouTube for years, just using it, not actually like posting anything. There was a short period of time, like years ago, where I thought, oh, I'm going to start a page, I'm going to start a channel, I'm going to, you know, I'm really going to do it up, girl. Because I had a boyfriend at the time who gave me a camera or bought me a camera. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to really use this, make sure to get it in there. And that hairline, girl, you don't want to see the line. Okay, make sure to get on my nose. But anyhow, I thought years ago that I was going to be on camera and do a YouTube video and just, you know, whatever I could possibly do. And then I kind of gave that up because I was I got, you know, like you just get self-conscious and you start to realize like, what are everybody else gonna think? And I did that for so long. Like I look back at it now and I think like, why did I give a shit? Like why, as much as I said I didn't, I was. And like clearly, because otherwise I would have just did what I wanted to do. I am older now and much more confident in my abilities and what I bring to the table, and I've lived some life since then. And so and maybe my makeup hasn't gotten any better since then, but I have definitely lived some life since then. And I just felt like, or I feel like now that, you know, why the fuck not? Like, why wouldn't I try and build my business or put myself out there? And social media is such like a, you know, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and whatever else. There's such huge platforms for people these days to, help build their business or to help, gain some presence online. And so at the moment, that is where I am at. Oh, I'm taking the foundation, the whatever the fuck this is called, and I've used it for years. I mean, literally over 20 years. Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. That's what it's called. It will always just be Studio Fix to me. So, but I want to be able to, and this is MAC, of course. I always want to be able to say the right name, I suppose. So all I'm doing is going over my face with this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I certainly want to get it into the areas that I want some depth because it is a little bit of a darker color. And I'm going to go over it with a little bit more foundation. And I'm also going to go and go over it with some concealer as well. But I want it to be in the areas that I would like some depth. Because again, it's a little warmer, and so I need to utilize it in that way. Almost like a bronzer, but not really, if you know what I mean. And then of course I get it on my neck. Really get it up in the neck, honey. Around that 5 o'clock shadow. And I probably look crazy. Definitely you do whenever you're like doing your face. And this was like a big thing for me because I'm like, I don't want to look crazy. That's not what I want to do. But I suppose it's necessary. If I'm going to make a video about doing my makeup, I suppose I should show the whole entire process. And this is honestly a very simple way to do your face. I mean, maybe not simple for others, but it's very simple for me because I wear, if not, I would normally wear more. I will add some more concealer in some areas that I just want to highlight, and I'm going to take the yellow concealer here. I'm just going to use the same brush that I used in order to put it in my 5 o'clock shadow area. I should stop saying that. I don't know, do something else. I'm just not sure of what yet. And I just make a little like V here. Or I guess it would be like a check mark here. I don't need a ton. I just need to make sure to follow for my natural. I'm gonna put some here. Where I want this highlight to be. Where I want it to like highlight my face. And this is of course all gonna be blended. You don't necessarily need to do that right now, but I will in a second. And so I will normally put this much on here, and then take my, now you could do this either with the foundation brush you already used, which is nice because it already has the foundation on it, so it will kind of deepen it and not make it as light. Now I would like to make this a little bit quicker, so I'm going to go in here with this. I'm gonna spread that around. I'm just gonna get that all up in here in the place that I just set it, or just placed it, and try and get it up into my eye. Here. Now I don't generally work with a lot of dark on my face because I am very light-skinned. So if I do have like darker colors or like a bronzer or something, it's going to be like a more yellowy or orangey situation, not like, I don't know, not like a deep foundation or like liquid contour, I suppose. I don't necessarily contour my face, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to take this, of course my screen comes out, there we go, and I'm just going to blend it, just blend it up into each other. Again, this has foundation on it, so it really helps to kind of just give it that little bit of lightness that I want. Nothing crazy. I don't want it to look white. I don't want it to look overdone, although it probably totally does. And I'm just going to take it everywhere. Sure. Blend, blend, blend. I can take a little bit more. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to take a little bit of foundation more, and I'm going to just place that in the areas And I know for sure I want a bit more coverage. And then what I'm going to do is take my powder. I want a bit more coverage here. I want a bit more coverage here. I want some on my nose. I know I probably want some here. And then also in this 5 o'clock shadow area. And I'm just going to stipple that on as best I can. So it also works in with the contour, or the highlight, I suppose, the really yellow and white highlight. So that way, and then I'm also going to take some of this here and make sure to put it down here. The skin on your chest is always going to be looking like less done than your actual face, unless of course you do the exact same process on it that you do on your face, but the face just, you look more done generally, and you know. So you want to blend and stipple, blend and stipple, stipple and blend, because that is going to help make sure that your makeup is all on correctly. I want to get it a little bit into the brow bone, onto the eyebrows. And my eyebrows are naturally super sparse, so I'm gonna do a little bit of powder in there, but nothing crazy. I don't do a whole lot to my eyebrows. I'm actually really terrible at them, but I do my best. Okay. So once I have done that, it is now time to set it. And I like to use the MAC Studio Fix powder. And I will take a little bit of this. Actually, it's more like a lot of it. I use quite a bit of it because I can't stand a greasy face. Although I love it when I don't have makeup on. It's different whenever you have makeup on and then you feel like your face is greasy. That's the worst, because it's just all that powder that you feel, or it's all that makeup that you feel. And so I try and make sure I am powdered down so I don't get that feeling, but also it helps to set it. It makes it last longer and you don't have as many issues later on in the day. Okay, so I just make sure to get it everywhere. Now, I'm gonna go through my eyebrows. And again, I'm just trying to make this really quick. I'm not trying to do this and make this a forever, video, an hour-long video. This is just something that I will do, like if I know that I need to go to a meeting, or if I know that I am going out for the day, or whatever. Like, and it's not any super crazy special occasion, although it really is kind of like my special occasion makeup too, because I don't really do a whole lot of eyeshadow, like I was saying. So it really is my everyday. It's how I prefer to present myself. I'm taking a little bit of this darker brown shadow. This is an eyeshadow from MAC, and it is called Brown Down. I take a little bit of brown down and I put it on my flat brush. Again, a part of this set that my sister got me. My sister shout out to her, Destiny Rose. Find her on social media, because she will be doing stuff. She will be making videos, because why not? Here we are. I would take a little bit of this, and I don't wet it. I don't do anything like that. I just leave it dry powder, shadow, and I just fill in my brow a bit. Now again, I am not good at this. Like, I have never been good at eyebrows. I am good for a natural shape and like a natural looking brow generally. But when it comes to actually filling in and like putting color to it and doing all the different brow gels and whatever, my eyebrows look crazy. Like, I just don't really, I don't know. And I used to do makeup all the time for other people, and like it works on them, you know what I mean? Like it works for them, they look good, but that I just feel like I just drew my eyebrows on with a Sharpie, and that is the worst. So I have lately been taking brown down and just filling in and trying not to spend too much time on it, because I then end up just making mistakes. I just end up making it too thick or too dark or something else, and that's never really good either. I don't know what my problem is. I do have a problem with eyebrows. And then I will take this, my little spoolie, and I will just brush it in so that way the hairs and the powder all kind of blend together. I'm also wiping away whenever I'm doing this any sort of like packed pigment on here that maybe makes it look a little darker in some areas. I just want very seamless, even, brushed out application of this powder, of this shadow, so that way it can move on. And then my eyebrows just kind of turn out like that. And that's about it. That's really all she wrote. I will generally take a Q-tip and just clean it up a bit, just to make sure that they're even. Maybe, if I need to shape a little bit, I will. But I try and keep it really simple. I don't try and do like a super crazy eyebrow. I like the more natural look with a little bit of powder on it. I don't mind it. I'm sure other people do. I'm sure they hate it. I will also take the other side of that Q-tip. And you're not supposed to do this, but I always do this. I literally wet this with my mouth. And then I will then clean my lips, because I think they look crazy when you don't clean them up. And I'm just gonna go with the natural lip I have. Now, my friends used to say that I have like a crack baby lip, and I told my mom that, and she's like, "You are not a crack baby." And I'm like, well, why does my lip look like that? Like, it's off. It's not quite where it should be. Like, the functioning of it isn't quite where it should be. Like, I could go like that, but I can't do it. I can't do that on the other side. Like, there's something wrong. Okay, if you haven't already noticed. After I've done that, I will take, this is Revlon. I actually love this. This is Revlon Color State Line Creator. I used this side of it for the longest time, which is like a liquid liner with a little dip in it, and you can work it out with the little feathered thing that they have at the end. I had no idea that it had an actual other liner on the other side, and I don't know why I didn't know that. I should have known that. I am smarter than that. I used to use Revlon all the time, and then I stopped, and then I went back to it. And I actually love this side of this liner, and the other one's good too. It definitely stays. I just feel like I always mess up more with the other side. And so this one, I feel a little bit more controlled. I don't know if you can see that, but I line the underline of my eyes. And then what I do is I just give it a little bit more. And mind you, again, I don't really wear a lot of stuff on my eyelids because my eyes water like crazy. However, this liner does me well, but I will always get creasing in my eye, and that's not because of this liner, that's just because MAC is ridiculous. But I will take this liner and I will just line my eye with it as best I possibly can, not really giving it too much thickness, but just enough to put the pigment on, because I don't want a ton. I like a subtle lined eye. I used to be that girl who did like the winged liner and everything, real dramatical. So I just want to make sure that it is a fairly decent line. It makes sense for what I'm about to do. It's thick enough to where if I put some powder on it, which is what I'm going to do, It's not going to change it a whole lot, but it will add and make it that much more pronounced. So I'll do a little bit of this, and then I'm going to take this angled liner brush. So what I'm doing is just dipping this, and this is well, I don't know what it says. It literally is not legible, but I think it's Carbon from MAC as well. And I am just a MAC girly, so everything I have is almost MAC except for like my liner, which is Revlon. Mac's liners are like out of control in price and in just what they do, which is good and bad. I guess that's what you're looking for. But I like my Revlon. I'm used to it. It's also more accessible. If I run out, I can just go get some at the store, as opposed to where I live. There's a mall called the Valley Fair. Bitch, please. I avoid that place like the plague. It's the worst. I mean, my God, everybody and their mama up in there. And I am not trying to do all that. I don't do the malls like I used to. But I didn't even really do the malls back in the day either. Like, I was not one of them girls. I used to work in a mall, so I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I don't know if I just hated it because it was the mall, or if it was the people I worked for, but I fucking hated it. It's all worse. So all I'm doing is just literally going over that where I put that liner, just to make it a little bit more pronounced, and also build on it a little bit. I'm going in and I'm cleaning up with a toothpick. This is a clean toothpick. Well, not now, but it was. And I am just making sure that it looks even. I'll have to replace that foundation with that. I just want to make sure that it looks even, that it's going on nicely, that it's somewhat symmetrical on both sides. And I say somewhat because, you know, she's got a wonky eye. You know, whenever you're looking at it, sometimes you don't see it, you know. And so we do what we can. And then I'm going to go back over what I just did, a little bit more liner. And at this point, I could go over it as well with the other side of this. I don't know what you would call this, but it's just a liquid eyeliner, essentially. I could go over and do it on the top of this, but I won't. I don't mind this, because even if it fades and maybe gets away from me or sticks to the top of my eyelid, I'll just wipe it. Alright, so that is that. Next is blush. So my blush, I live for a good blush. This one is MAC's Peaches, which is my favorite blush. And I always wear blush. I feel like it just gives the girls what they need. And so it is my go-to. It almost works on everybody. It's a beautiful color for my skin tone, especially. But generally, whenever I put on blush, this is what I'm going to use. Well, she is it. And I like to put a generous serving of blush on. And I'm going to go through and sort of blend it out as well. So don't be alarmed. And then I'm going to take my powder brush. And I'm going to blend. So that way there are no harsh lines, no harshness at all, just a good, oh, she's, the cheek is making noise. I'm gonna just make sure that I blend, and try not to have it too pronounced, kind of make it more subdued than what I actually put on my face. And that generally works well. Now this is Maybelline Lash Sensational, I think it's called. This is the liner I use, and I like it. It's good. I'm such a, like, I will do MAC and Revlon and Maybelline, and that's about it. I don't really use much else. Maybe there's some other good stuff out there. I'm just not that adventurous. I am, maybe if I get to a point where people are sending me stuff, maybe. Then I'll be like, yo, let me try this. But I mean, you really gotta be like a tried and true for me in order for me to put it on my face, just because, these other brands, cute, great packaging, maybe have some good quality stuff, but um, for the most part, I stick to what I know. She's one of those girls. I'm working on building up my social media. Want to try and be engaging. I want to try and be that girl who can, like, I'll have a conversation, make you feel included in what I'm doing, be informative. And I feel like in everyday life, sure, I could do that all day. If I need to teach somebody, if I need to show somebody something, not a problem. But being on YouTube, making videos, like doing the edits, like I don't even know if this will be in the edit, but doing all of that has been eye-opening and interesting and daunting. It's one of those things you have to try and do and then get better at. And like this video, no one might ever see this video. I mean, literally no one might ever see this video. But if you do, I thank you, because I'm on a journey, and it's a journey that I really wanted to start years ago, but I was just too afraid. Like, I was just too afraid to start a YouTube video and then for people to laugh at me or think I was fat or think I was ugly or I didn't have makeup on and so I didn't look as attractive. And girl, I still feel that way. But and I am fat, and I may not be as attractive as I used to be, but I like who I am. I like what I've been able to accomplish. I am very blessed to be where I'm at today and to even have the ability to even do this, right? And I say all that to say that whatever it is that's getting in your way, whatever it is that's holding you back from doing what you want to do, don't let it. I did that for too long, and it was really just myself holding myself back. It wasn't anybody but me. It was just my own insecurities and me telling myself that, oh my God, this is what they're going to think of you, and this is how they're gonna, perceive you to be, whatever it may be. But girl, let it go. It's not worth it. Anywho, I'm putting on lip balm, lip conditioner from MAC, of course. And look at that. I gotta do it. I have to do my hair. But, mama, honey, girl, this is it. This is what she does. I will go out in the day like this. I will go have a meeting right now. I will go to the grocery store, girl. And this was like my quick makeup. Did I forget anything? I think I'm okay. I think I'm fine. I mean, I probably should. Oh, I need to do my hair, of course. But this is the makeup look. This was the simple, quick, how long has it been? 44 minutes? Oh, Lord Jesus. It is just my simple, quick makeup. Nothing crazy. I generally take forever. If I was to add like an actual eye, like, put some eyeshadow on, girl, we'd be here for hours. And then, and to do anything else, I mean, maybe one day I will. I just don't know. I don't know how well this is going to do. I don't know if it's going to resonate with anybody. I don't know if anybody's going to learn anything. But if you want to learn, I'll teach you. I am going to do my hair and then I'll be back to give you the final look. Oh, you wanted final looks, honey? Well, here you go. I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is the look. Curled, barrel curled in 3 sections on both sides of my head, and then just brushed out. I love a good I slept in this, or I just got fucked kind of hair. But this is it. This is the look. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you made it all the way through this video. Looking forward to making more. Hopefully I'll be doing a podcast, have some interviews on here. I'm just gonna try a few things, see what works, see what makes sense. So you might see some entrepreneurial interviews, you might see me on here get up again, and you might see me doing my makeup with somebody else who is also an entrepreneur as we're doing our face together. So who knows? We're just trying things out, trying to figure it out. But if you wouldn't mind, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and then, so much more. Check out our website, www.CABlackLabel.com, California Black Label. If you'd like, everything in the description below. And I look forward to making more videos and having you possibly along for the ride. So I really appreciate you taking the time, giving me a little bit of your attention, and hopefully if you want to see something specific, or if you want to see me do a certain look, or if you want me to show you something else, or I'm going to have different videos that talk about my business and what we do and how we do it. So all of that's to come, but I appreciate you just tuning in. Okay, thanks. Bye.